I'm Jim Davey, and I'm sitting here with Wayland Jensen. We're co-chairs of a men's breakfast coming up later this month in October, and we're sitting in Wayland's lovely breakfast room here in the estuary. And I got thinking, Wayland, there's a well-known children's book called What Do People Do All Day? So let's start by asking you, what did you do all day before you retired and came to Florida?
Well, that's a long story, but I'll keep it short, I hope. But my life was just a wonderful, wonderful gift of God in every step that I made. I started out my life with the telephone company for 8.5 years, and they just treated me like a king. I just kept moving up and up, and ended up with a big office full of people. And then my pastor, Howard Carlson at the time, called me up one day when I was in the office and said, there's a man in our church who's got a home improvement kind of a business that would like to retire. And he brought your name up to me and said, would I ask you if you'd be interested in that? And I was known in my circles as the Mr. Telephone Company man from Illinois Bell. And boy, that was a big thought. But I thought, well, I'll try it out on Saturday, because he offered me to come in and work there on Saturday to see if I liked it. Well, I always thought, boy, to be in your own business, that's a dream of most men and women. And so I took the leap.
Is it true that all of the school buildings in Chicago have your windows in them?
Well, I like to say that, but it could be that half of them do, because we...
That's a lot of windows.
It's a lot of windows. And yes. In the VA hospitals, we've done just all kinds of things. But
Your daughter is a missionary in Cameroon. Is that what really got you interested in missions at first?
Yeah, I think that was the initial thing. And another daughter went into missions in New Orleans, and she's still there doing that with inner city work in New Orleans. So we had two things in my heart really got going for seeing other people in other parts of the nation and the world.
We're going to talk about a men's breakfast, and our speaker is a pilot. Did you ever fly?
Well, I had a few chances to fly, but not. Friends had airplanes and prop planes, but in high school, I really got interested in aviation, thinking I would enjoy being a flight engineer. So I took a course on being a power plant mechanic, and it was very serious because it was federally controlled in the high school I went to in Chicago, and our whole class ended up passing and getting our license for that. But God never led me that direction, but it was great fun, but I loved aviation.
Well, our speaker at the men's breakfast, which by the way is Friday morning, October 27th, at 8 o'clock in the morning.
8 o'clock sharp.
At the club, right?
At the club, on the second floor in the Banyan Grill, yes.
Yeah. Our speaker is a former jet pilot with the Air Force. His name is Pete Cluck. And I understand you tried to reach him the other day. Where in the world did you find him?
I think he was in Ghana.
Oh, Ghana.
Yeah, but the other day when we talked to him, he was in Tampa. He had come back home from his trip. So. Yeah.
And I heard that recently he had been in Nepal, so he gets around.
Oh, he's around. He's quite a guy, and he's going to be a very interesting speaker with his F-16 experiences flying, being a pilot.
Indeed.
And also then being a trainer, so he must have known that thing.
Yeah, he was an instructional pilot at MacDill Air Force Base up in Tampa.
Yes.
And left in mid-career in his 30s to go with Wycliffe Bible Translators. One of the questions I hope he answers is, what in the world made him do that kind of transition? That's quite a segue.
That was quite a change, wasn't it?
Yeah, I would think that would be an exciting answer. If you had to ask him one question, what might it be?
Well, I think the most interesting thing is, what does it feel like when you break the sound barrier and back one you're in there and that plane, it must really bounce around when they do that, because it sure does down on Earth when someone does it. So.
We'll get a chance to ask him some questions. By the way, the breakfast is only $5 at the club. And when I heard that, I thought we must be going to have celery sticks and water. What's the menu going to be?
Well, Chef Richard, boy, he put out a menu, and actually it's got up to $20.35. I said, we can't do that. So I found a few men that would help subsidize this so we could do the tickets for $5. But it's going to be a $20 plus breakfast. And they're going to get a sausage, bacon, scrambled eggs, 2 pancakes, muffins on the table, 2 juices on the table, coffee, and whatever else they want. It's going to be an awesome breakfast.
Truly a man's breakfast.
It's a man's breakfast.
So I hope you'll get your ticket at the Village Church, $5 for the men's breakfast, Friday morning, October 27 at 8 a.m. at the club. Wayland and I will be there to greet you.
Yes, and be there sharp before 8 o'clock on Friday morning, October 27th.